squiggly. Okay, hi, I'm Jen. I am doing this video to tell you about the art retreat that I'm going to do for widows in August. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about it, and I thought video would be the best way to do that. I need to preface this by saying that video is my worst nightmare. Like, being on a video, literally my worst nightmare. So just keep that in mind as I kind of stumble through this. But anyway, I do think it's the best way to explain to you what this is about. So if you have been following along on my Instagram or with my art for the last couple years, you might know some of these things, but I want to just kind of introduce myself and for people who might not. So my name is Jen Funk, and I lost my husband Brad in 2008. He was a pilot in the Air Force and he was killed in a plane crash. We have 3 daughters. Tyler was 13 at the time, Sophie was 2.5, and Addie was 6 months old. So anyway, we moved back home to Utah where I was born and raised, and just kind of like started, trying to navigate this life that threw us a curveball, and it was kind of unexpected. So anyway, I felt like I had a lot of support. I have wonderful family and wonderful friends, and so I remember having other widows reach out to me right after I lost Brad. And I just got like an email from a couple people, and I really just thought, I don't know them, I don't want to talk to them, like that's weird. And I felt like I had a lot of support, so I felt like I was good. And I think that's one of the reasons my initial reaction to meeting new people, that's kind of scary for me, and especially in that vulnerable state where I just felt like we were just barely surviving, and I was just trying to like hold it together and take care of my girls during every day, and I didn't really want to, like, meeting and being with other people I didn't know did not sound good to me. Like that was way outside of my comfort zone. So anyway, fast forward about 5 years, and I found an organization that connected military widows, and it was called American Widow Project. And I was really nervous, but I very tentatively signed up for one of their retreats. And what I found when I met these women, so we went to Seattle, and there was like 10 or 12 of us, I can't remember, and you stay in a house and you're just like together, and we it was a really good, powerful thing for me to do. And what I realized was that there is a really special connection between widows, and I don't know that you need to have anything else in common. I think, like, I went to that retreat and we had 2 things in common. We were military widows. Okay, well, our husbands were in the military and we were widows. That was literally the only thing I had in common with most of those women. They were all different ages. I was 33 when Brad died. Some of the ladies there were like in their 20s. They were super young. There were a couple that were older than me. It was just, we didn't really have a lot of a lot of other things in common besides that. But what I found was that was enough. And so that was like my first taste of meeting other widows and seeing kind of like the power and the strength that comes from being able to talk to somebody who understands what you're going through at least as much as they can. Like, I don't feel like anyone can really fully understand what it was like for me to lose Brad, because they didn't lose Brad. They didn't have our same relationship. They didn't have our, everybody's circumstances is individual and different. So I'm not saying just because you're a widow, everything's the same and I understand exactly what you have experienced, because I don't. but I think it's about as close as you can get. So anyway, I came home from that retreat, like really inspired. They inspired me to follow some dreams that I had that I hadn't really even dared to say out loud. One of them was painting, and I started painting right after that. I got home and signed up for a little online class and fell in love with that and found that that was a healing and a good thing for me. So I'm really grateful to them for that. The other thing that I felt, so I got home and realized, hey, meeting other widows is pretty awesome. Like, I should be doing this. So over the years, I did reach out and did put myself in a situation where I could meet some other local widows. And it was the same thing. It was instant connection, instant understanding, instant empathy. It's something that I can't really explain. But one thing that I realized was that there is not a support system for those women. And I had the privilege of being involved in meeting other military widows because people have started charities that serve military widows. So we could go and connect, and it wasn't very often, maybe even like once every couple of years for some of them. There's an organization where our kids could get together, and so our kids were meeting other military kids who lost their fathers in the line of duty, and it's been amazing what that has done for our family and what that's done for my girls. So I would come home from something like that, and I would look around and see my other widow friends and think, like, there's no support for you. And I felt like I wanted to do something to connect local military widows or local widows. I felt like I wanted to do something to connect local widows just in our community and in our state, or and help provide a service to them and support them, because from what I've seen, there isn't anything that really does that. And so I felt that right like 5 or 6 years ago, right when I realized, like, hey, these women don't have this, and I want them to have this. I want them to know how awesome it is to meet other widows and give them the opportunity to do that. So anyway, I feel like now I'm finally in a position where my kids are a little older, and anyway, I feel like I have maybe the energy and the capacity to share some of the things that I've learned. So anyway, that is how Create Hope Foundation is getting started, and it's literally just getting started. It was kind of like my brainchild a couple of months ago, and I just thought, like, instead of waiting for somebody to do this, I'm just gonna do this. And I don't really know how to start a nonprofit or start a foundation, but it's okay, I'm gonna figure it out. So we are in the process of doing that. So it's not an official nonprofit yet. It will be, but we're still waiting for some of those things. But I wanted to go ahead and just do a retreat this summer, because the most important part to me is connecting these other women and helping them see that there's somebody around who gets it, and there's somebody in your community who gets it, and you can lean on each other for support. So the purpose of the Create Hope Art Retreat for Widows is not really art. It's not like, the purpose is not art. So I don't want that to scare you. If you're a widow and you're thinking, yeah, that would be great to meet other widows, but I don't do art and I hate art or whatever, please don't let that discourage you from signing up. The art's kind of just a way to let us all sit around and work on something together, and It's something that's been a passion for me, and it's helped me to use my creativity in ways that it's just been really healing, but it's probably not going to be really healing for every single person to do art. Like, I think everybody will have their own thing that you'll find in your widow journey that really helps you. So I want you to just remember that this really isn't about art. This is about creating an environment where we can foster a connection between other women who have experienced some of the same things we have. So anyway, I didn't want to cry on this video or swear. Those were my two things that I was worried about. Anyway, okay, so the Create Hope Foundation Art Retreat for Widows is August 13th and 14th. In some of the things that I've gone to events with widows that have, 1,000 people, and I've gone to events that have 8. And what I have found is that when it's really big, your opportunity for real connection is less. And so in my retreats that I want to do, they're going to be about 10 people. I think any more than that, you start to get people that get lost, and I want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to connect with other women, and everyone has an opportunity to share what they want to share. So we keep the numbers really small. This retreat, we still have some spaces left. So please, if you are a widow and you're local or you're willing to travel to Utah, you don't have to live here. You just need to be able to get yourself here. We would love to have you. If you want to go to my website, and I will link a little link wherever this is posted, that will take you there, and you can just fill out a form, and we'll hopefully be able to have you come. Let's see, what other questions? Okay, I talked about why. I want to share one thing. I'm thinking it's probably only been, I don't know if it's even been 6 months. I have some good widow friends in my community, and we just have a little text thread, and this is one of the things that helped me realize it doesn't matter where we are on our, I've been widowed longer than all of them. I'm 11 years out, so I lost Brad 11 years ago. There are some that I know who are about 8 years out, and some who are just a year or two, and some who are just months. And what I've found when we are talking to each other, or we'll send out a text, and if we're having a hard day, or if we're or if something was awesome, like if we had a little tender mercy happen that we wanted to share, what I found is that we all help each other and we all benefit, and I can learn just as much from those new widows as they can learn from me. Like, they can, we can look at each other, and it doesn't matter how long someone's been on this widow road, we can still learn from each other, and we support each other. And the thing that I thought was super awesome is when one of us is having a hard day, or having something that's particularly, oh my gosh, difficult, there's always someone who isn't, and there's always someone who is can remind us of the things that we know, can remind us that there will be a better day coming. And so I think my dream for Create Hope Foundation is just to create a space where widows can connect, and they can create a real friendship and a real camaraderie, and so we can support each other on those hard days and share the wins and the good things on the good days with some people who understand. So that's what it's all about. It's really not about art. It's about connection and creating a space for women who've experienced the same tragedy in their lives to connect with others so we can support each other. We are looking for some sponsors to help. My other thing that I really feel strongly about with this is that I need to figure out a way to provide this retreat and these services for free to widows. I feel like we've all paid enough. Your initial fee to get into this club is pretty high. So I would love to be able to offer these services and do retreats and not have it cost widows 1 cent. So I'd love for them to be able to come free of charge so that their financial situation doesn't come into play at all. So we can all have this same support system. So we're looking for some sponsors. We need monetary donations. We would love donations of items. I would love to have a little swag bag or a little gift to give each widow when they come. So we would love donations of any kind like that. Anything that you would just love to get that would be fun. So if you are interested in helping support Create Hope Foundation with our first retreat, then I will link some places below where you can send a donation or shoot me an email and we'll figure out something. But I've just been super grateful for the support that I've gotten from the community. We do have a little bit of a budget already because we had people come and support our Operation Serve to Heal in May that we do in honor of Brad. So we have some money from that we'll be using to put toward this first retreat. But we're a little short. So we would love if you feel like that's something that you want to support, shoot me an email. I guess I'll just reiterate a couple things. The mission and purpose of this is to connect widows that are in our community so we can support each other and help each other. And that's something that is more powerful than you can imagine. So my dream is for every widow to know that she has a resource of someone else who has gone through this that she can reach out to and talk to when she needs to. The other thing is that just remember, it's really not about making art. We're gonna make some fun things and we're gonna do some fun art, but it is gonna be beginner level. You don't have to have any skills at all, like no prior art skills. We'll make some really meaningful things that you can take home that will represent, hopefully be something that makes you happy when you look at them. But it's not gonna be something that you need to have any skills to be able to do. So please don't let the art part scare you away. We also won't be doing art all day, both days. We'll be doing some other things. And mostly we'll just be creating a space where we can get to know each other and share our stories and talk and create a relationship that will enable us to help each other as we're walking on this road that none of us wanted to be on. So anyway, I'm grateful for my widow friends who I've met over the years who've helped me realize what a strength we can be to each other. And we look forward to our first retreat.